What's up gamers, in today's video I'm going to be comparing the Funeral Addict and our almighty father. Arlecchino is coming out in a few days and I know that 99% of the Genshin Impact community is hyped. But since she's a Pyro main DPS and Hu Tao's a Pyro main DPS, a lot of people want to know who's better. So in today's video I'll be comparing who's easier to play, who's more flexible, who's the most free to play friendly, and so much more. So buckle up and let's get cooking. Get it? Because of the Pyro characters, they light the fire to cook, because you know, Pyro. Anyways, Arlecchino is coming out and man oh man am I primo gem deprived. Maybe a lot of the people here watching are in the same boat as me and might have to end up whipping out their credit card to spend on her glorious banner. But if you ask me, those primo gems in the shop are insanely expensive, and that's where the almighty loot bar comes in. Loot bar is one of the best websites known to mankind, and by mankind I mean us Genshin Impact players, because it allows whales and light spenders to buy Genesis crystals in the shop at a discount. If it's your first time buying Genesis crystals, you'll get double the rewards with loot bar like how you would in Genshin, because its system goes through Razor. This Genesis crystal pack is $100 on Genshin, but when you use loot bar it's only $85, saving you 14 bucks. And if that's your first time using loot bar in general, you get 5% off your first payment, which is great. And trust me, that adds up over time. There have been 20,000 orders from Genshin users on loot bar and none of them had any transaction issues, as it's a trustworthy and 100% safe website, with it only needing your UID to make purchases. Don't believe me? Well, it's rated 5 stars with 1,021 reviews. You can check for yourself. After making a purchase, expect it to arrive in 30 minutes or less. Well, in my case, my purchase arrived in only 45 seconds. Dukaja, Jello Impact, and Teva Times have all used it and it's 100% safe. So if you're going to spend anything in Genshin, make sure to check the link in the description and pinned comment, get redirected to Loot Bar's official website, and get those Arlecchino summons ready. Keep in mind I'm mainly talking about Genshin, but it doesn't support just Genshin, but also some of your other favorite games like Honkai Star Rail. Thank you Loot Bar for sponsoring today's video. But with that being said, let's summon for New Villette with my Loot Bar primos. Alright guys, we got the primo gem from Loot Bar. Let's pull for New Villette right now. First temple, and we did not get him. Okay, next temple, boom, New Villette with Loot Bar. Okay. Next temple, and we just got New Villette because of Loot Bar. Thank you Loot Bar for sponsoring today's video. Guys, go check the link in the description. Make sure to get your Arlecchino pulls ready. Now when talking about who's easier to play at C0, it's kind of tricky because they both have different pros and cons. And funny enough, both their C1s help with playability by a lot. It's almost like Hoyoverse did this on purpose, because the main problem with Hu Tao at C0 is the fact that players need to learn how to jump cancel. Because the way you play Hu Tao is you do charge attacks, but the animations of these charge attacks get in the way of your gameplay, so all you need to do is jump after doing a charge attack and just keep doing that. It sounds easy on paper, but when you're up against actual enemies, it gets tricky. I don't even want to talk about my Hu Tao experience on mobile, because let's just say she was hard. That's the main issue with Hu Tao, but if there's a main issue, there's a main issue, and that's her stamina consumption. Because her gameplay revolves around charge attacks and they consume stamina, then when playing C0 Hu Tao, you're going to run into some stamina issues. I have C0 Hu Tao and it isn't that big of a deal when you aren't dodging enemy attacks, but it can be if you're dodging. But everything changes when you get her C1, because it makes it so that her charge attacks do not consume any stamina, meaning you don't have to jump cancel, which was kind of hard. But instead, all you need to do is dash cancel, which is way easier. And when I say way, I mean way easier, making her gameplay quite smooth. And because you're not losing any stamina, this allows you to do more charge attacks, leading to more damage. That's why her C1 is one of her best constellations, and I would even recommend free-to-plays to get it. And then there's Arlecchino. Her main issue is the fact that there is little to no interruption resistance in her kit, even though she's a DPS that is primarily going to spend most time on field bashing the enemies. So not having interruption resistance is a big problem that she will face, therefore she is reliant on Big Daddy Zhongli with his fat, juicy, scrumptious, thick shield. Or even, wait, what's her name again? The girl that's pyro and isn't used and sucks, and oh yeah, Dea. That thing. You can use it. Although when you get her C1, she gets interruption resistance, which is very helpful for her gameplay, and it also gives her more damage. But all in all, when it comes to their C1, I feel like they both share the exact same value, because Hu Tao's makes her easier to play and gives her more damage, and Arlecchino's makes her easier to play and gives her more damage. But for all the people who are about to type paragraphs complaining about me not giving a thorough answer on which is better, I don't know what to tell you. maybe cry about it. I have no idea. But anyway, who's more comfortable to play at C0 in my opinion goes to Arlecchino. Firstly, because Hu Tao felt impossible for me to play on mobile, and secondly, Arlecchino's gameplay without a shielder just requires 3 more brain cells. But that's only at the start. Once you get used to her and play her for a while, her rotations are gonna become so easy for you. So that's why I chose Arlecchino. Now let's talk about who has more free-to-play friendly teams. And the winner is Arlecchino. To be honest, if you're a free-to-play and need a 5-star character to work with 4 stars that you have, I would recommend Arlecchino because her best teams are very free-to-play friendly. Starting with my favorite, an Overload team, with only 4-star characters being Arlecchino, Bennett, Chevreuse, and Fischl. This team is a viable option for all free-to-play players, and I even expect Wales to use it because it's such a good Overload team. It also has another option with Beidou, where you would just replace Bennett and use him in another team. Both are great and free-to-play friendly. She can also work in a team with Xingqiu, Fischl, and Bennett, which of course is free-to-play friendly. But then she also has other teams with just 1 extra 5-star character, which is still free-to-play friendly, like a Mono Pyro team with Bennett, Xiangling, and the extra 5-star character being Kazuha. But overall, her teams are very accessible. Then we have Hu Tao, who isn't as free-to-play friendly as Arlecchino because of obvious reasons. I don't even need to get into details, but let's just say this is one of her best teams, with only 5 stars. This is also one of her best teams with 3 5 stars. And then there's also this option with only 5 stars. So Arlecchino takes the win and it's not even close. I'm free to play premium, so free to play friendly teams don't matter much to me. But if you're not like me and really care about the characters' teams, then go for Arlecchino over Hu Tao. Oh yeah, if you're enjoying the video, why not like, subscribe, and join my Discord down below. It's a super fun Discord server where me and a lot of other people talk about Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and a buttload of other random stuff. It's a great place to hang out with loads of fun individuals, and I would 100% recommend you join. We also have a section for Honkai Star Rail help and advice, as well as Genshin help and advice. So if you have any problems with both games, we would gladly help you out. It takes only a few seconds of your day to join, and I would recommend you do. Just check the link in the description and click it. It's really that simple. The members there also form their own cult with sus names like this and this, so if you want to be creative and make your own sus names, make sure to join. I will also rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. The link will be in the description, and I hope to see you there. Anyway, let's talk about their flexibility. In terms of flexibility, I have to give this point to Arlecchino because she works well with a lot more characters than Hu Tao does. Therefore, she is more flexible. She also has way more different team comps she can work well in, while Hu Tao is mainly tied to Vaporize teams. The first team is a Mono Pyro team, the second team is an Overload team, and the third team is a Vaporize team. The 2 main supports Hu Tao wants in her teams are Furina and Yelan or Xingqiu, lastly, Xingqiu or Zhongli. Her best teams are surrounded by those characters, in the same niche, which is Vaporize. And then Arlecchino can work insanely well with all the characters I mentioned for Hu Tao, except Xianyun and Furina, leaving her working well with Zhongli, Yelan, Xingqiu, Bennett, Chevreuse, Dea, Beidou, Fischl, Kazuha. Anyway, you get the gist of it. This just means that she is more flexible and can be sought in more teams with more characters than Hu Tao. But Hu Tao also has some sort of flexibility in her kit, but not because of teams. No. It's because she scales on HP, meaning that HP isn't a really useless stat on Hu Tao, because it gives more HP. But really, this HP is for damage and not survivability, because she still wants to be below 50% HP. But anyway, let's now talk about my final thoughts. Both Arlecchino and Hu Tao can do a lot of damage, and they are both great Pyro main DPS characters, and one of them has to be the victors, and I think it's Arlecchino. Both Hu Tao and her have their own pros and cons, making them pretty similar, but it also comes down to who you prefer. If you enjoy charge attacking more than normal attacking, then pull for Hu Tao. If you hate charge attacking, pull for Arlecchino. But make sure to comment down below what you think, who you're going to be pulling for, and let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to check out Loot Bar, because if you don't want to spend a lot of money on Genshin, then Loot Bar can be super helpful, because it helps you get the same rewards but at a discount. Also, please join the Discord server because it's super fun over there, and if you like fun people or if you have a funny personality, I would love to have you in the Discord server. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.